How's it going, everyone? Roger here, rants about tech. If you're new here, welcome. Consider hitting the subscribe button for me, and to the crew, let's go ahead and run those likes up, you guys. So if Boox does this, the Supernote platform would be in trouble. That's a topic we touch on a lot on my live stream, and it's a divisive topic. Does Boox even have a quick access menu? Is it better than the Supernote quick access menu, which I think is the best? That's up for debate and something I want to talk about here today. And I also want to point out some things that if Boox did do, it would give Supernote a run for its money. Let's jump right into it. This conversation centers around quick access. And what is quick access? To me, quick access is one, maybe two swipe access to files of your choosing, whether they're indexed files or files that you personally index yourself. But if you have access to those files within one, maybe two swipes, and you get some options as far as configuration goes, that's quick access to me. Now, I'm going to go over what Boox has in place that can be considered quick access, but not really quick. And then we're going to go over the Supernote platform and how they handle quick access, which I think is the most intuitive, efficient, and best way to handle quick access. So let's dive right in. So firstly, we have the Supernote platform here, which is the de facto standard for organization on eInk devices, in my opinion. We see the quick access menu that they have right here. Now, what makes it quick to me is the fact that I can get there in one swipe. I swipe on the right side of the device, I get access to this menu. Now, this quick access menu right here allows me to add any note or file to this menu and organize it how I want to by just dragging it down and just putting it in that list in the order that I want them in, so it becomes almost like muscle memory when I'm selecting these notes. I can put folders in this particular menu, documents in this particular menu, and they'll be available to me in one swipe. That's wherever you are in the device. If I'm in the settings, I swipe down once, I get access to those notes. If I'm in the To-Do app, I swipe on the right side, I get access to that. So that is quick access to me. Quickly accessing notes with one swipe. And you, like I said, it becomes like muscle memory because you know exactly where those notes are in that quick access list. Even if you were trying to get to your recent notes, that's still just one swipe away. Even if you were trying to get to your favorites, one button press here, and now you have access to those favorites in two swipes there. So like I said, for me, having the quick access menu here and one swipe and access to all of these particular files is quick access to me. Though the Boox platform doesn't have anything comparable to the quick access menu on the Supernote, you do have some options, so let's go ahead and talk about those. There is a quick way to get to your notes if you have your home screen set to be your Notes app and you have a gesture set up to take you to your home screen, and that's how that would work right here. So when I swipe up from the bottom, that's my home screen gesture, and that basically takes me to the Notes app, as you can see here, and I have my notes all right here. Now, to set that up, you have to go to your settings, you have to go to gestures, and you have to go to bottom gesture, and at the bottom gesture you can see you have these options here. Now, you can, if you wanted to, set the gesture in the middle or the left side or the right side to be your back to home screen gesture, as I have set up here. So anytime I use that gesture, it takes me back to my home screen, and it just so happens that my home screen is the Notes app. Now, let's talk about how you can change your home screen to the Notes app. So if you go to your settings here, and then you go to System Display, you will see a list of options here, and in this list of options you have Custom Home Screen, as you can see there. If you click that, you have a list of options that you can change your home screen to. If you change your home screen to Notes, anytime you go back to the home screen, it will take you to your notes. And if you have your home screen set up to be that gesture, then voila, you go back to notes. So that's a quick way to get back to your notes. And by that I mean your Notes app. And there you can select what note you want to get into, whether you want to go to your favorites or your recents, or if you have your notes already organized and sorted in a way that makes it easy for you. Now that's cool, but there's a couple drawbacks. For one, you don't get to explicitly order and organize these notes how you would want them, just like you can on the quick access menu. You can sort them by favorites or recents, and you can also sort them by the time and the name here. But you don't get to explicitly set what order they're in. The next problem is this takes you out of the note that you're in. Right now we're at the notes landing page, but we're taken out of the note that we were actually working in. One of the beauties of the quick access menu is that you stay where you were at in case you want to go back to that note. Sometimes you just want to go back to the folder that the file that you are working on is in. And that's another video that I'm making with that particular scenario in mind. But there's a couple reasons why going back to just the notes landing page isn't the same thing as a quick access menu. All right, so let's go on to the next quick access option you have available to you on the Boox platform, which is the side panel. So recently on one of my lives, Aaron, aka Mr. Media, brought up the fact that he felt like the side panel for pages here was sort of like a quick access menu. And that can be true if you're trying to get to pages within the same note. But if you want to quickly jump between notes, you won't be able to do that with the side panel here. It only shows you tags within the note that you're in. It shows you the outline of the note that you're in, and it shows you the pages of the note that you're in. So you can quickly jump around within your note, but you can't jump around between different notes or different pages within a note like the quick access menu on the Supernote platform does. So this is quick access like for pages within the same note, but not a global quick access like what I'm looking forward to and like how the Supernote handles their quick access menu. Okay, so this is just an addition to the video, something I forgot to add to the actual video when I was making it, and that's the fact that another option for quick access would be the multitasking window. Now, I get to the multitasking window by swiping on the bottom left portion of my screen there, but there are other ways to get to the multitasking window. If you use the navigation bar that's usually down here to navigate the system, there's a way to get to the multitasking window from there, and you can also set it up in your gestures. But once you set it up and you get to your multitasking window, this is a way for you to quickly jump between different apps and different files within the same apps. So as you can see here, I have a note open in the system here with the Notes app. I have two eReader instances open here where I'm reading two different things, and I also have an app open, a third-party app, OneNote here that's open. So I can quickly jump between either of these, and I can lock these into place so they'll never move. They'll always be there. So if you don't want the system to purge them because of RAM constraints, you can lock them into place and they'll always be there, taking up a certain amount of RAM on your system. You can't do this to a lot of apps, but you can do this to your most commonly used apps or files. The problem with this for quick access for me is that you can only have one note up. It would be nice if I could have multiple instances of the Notes app open so I can keep multiple apps open at the same time and swap between them. That would be perfect. And that would almost solve the problem I have with the system, with the Boox system not having quick access like the Supernote system does. This would solve that for me if you could put any file here, right, and save them. So the fact that you can only have one Notes instance open at a time in this multitasking window is the problem with this particular system for me. If not for that, this may be what I was looking for. Not perfect, but definitely doable. All right, so let's go on to the last option you have available to you, in my opinion, which is the File Options menu, and the menu that I think has the most potential to making it past that hurdle of being better than what the Supernote platform, or at least on par with what the Supernote platform offers in their options as far as quick access. Let's look right into it. So if you look to the top left part of the page, right to the side of the toolbar there, you will see an option you can click. And this is what I like to call the File Options menu because it gives you options on your files you have on the device. But the good thing about this is that clicking on this is like a drop-down menu that keeps you in your note and lets you do some things while you're still in your particular note. And one of those things is change the name of the note, which I think is awesome. If you click this icon there, you can just go ahead and change the name of the note there as such. Another option you have available to you is your files. So you can click the file icon here and it takes you to a menu where it shows you your files, and you can select whether you want recent notes displayed, whether you want favorites displayed, local notes, or reading notes displayed. You also get sorting options here as well, as far as cover view, as far as how you want this to look. I like the potential of the file options menu. It has all the ingredients we need for a quick access menu. It's a drop-down menu that keeps us in the notes. It gives us multiple options for the particular note, grouped and organized in a way that makes sense. Now all we need to do is add some elements to make it a little bit more useful and a little bit more intuitive. Let's talk about it. So though we can get to our files by going to the File Options menu by clicking this icon here, we have to click the actual File Options menu, and then we have to click the folder, and then we see files that we have. That's 2 clicks before we even get to files. Now, if the file is in the list that we see once we get through those 2 clicks, then it's only 2 clicks. But if the file isn't in your recents, and you have to click the drop-down menu here to go to your favorites to select the file, well, that's a 3rd click you have to put in. So if all the conditions are good, there's 2 clicks involved with getting to a list of your indexed files. If the conditions aren't perfect, there's at least 3 clicks you have to do to get to your indexed files. Now, that's at least 1 more click than you have to do on the Supernote platform, but I think I have a couple of ideas and remedies that would make this particular system way more efficient, way more intuitive, and way more user-friendly. And just way more useful. Did I say that already? I probably did. Let's get to it. Now, the easiest way to make this particular menu way more useful and way more quick accessy would be to add a plus option here. So when you click that plus option, you can add a file to this particular drop-down menu here. So right under Thoughts on New Books Devices, it could say Files. And under Files, it could list a number, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 files that you want to put in this particular list. You're in your notes and you want to go to another file. You click the File Options menu and bam, you have access to all of these files that you added there yourself and indexed yourself. And allow us to organize those files in an order that's good for us, so it can be like muscle memory. So I think this menu right here could serve as a way to get to commonly used files, if you will. But that's the first and easiest way to make this particular menu way more useful. And I think if Boox did that, they'd go a long way to catching up with the Supernote platform. But there's a couple more things we can do with this menu. Let's take a look. So if the file you wanted isn't in that commonly used file section that Onyx could add to this particular pop-up menu right here, if you don't see your file there, or if you haven't added it to that list yet, you can go to your files list right here. Now, the best way to make this files list way more intuitive and user-friendly would be to get rid of this drop-down menu right here. You don't need it. If it's already on my favorites, do it just like they do in the Notes app. Make icons that depict what particular file set you're looking for. An icon for recents, an icon for favorites, an icon for local files. And what else we have here? And make an icon right here for reading notes. That way, once you click into this menu, it's just 1 more click to get to the file set you want versus having to hit this drop-down menu and then get to the file set you want and then go and get your file. Lastly, this particular menu right here can be broken up into its subsequent parts. You can have a search menu that's outside of this particular hamburger bar, and you can have a separate cover view down here maybe, like they have in the Notes app. So all of these things I'm talking about right now are in the Notes app landing page that way. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So right here we're at the Notes app landing page, and you can see we have icons for favorites and recents and local files here, and that you can just choose from. They can just repurpose those icons and put them on that menu for the File Options menu. And right here we have search separated out from the sorting options. Granted, there are way more sorting options here than we have in the File Options menu, but that doesn't mean it can't just be one icon, a search icon, and then the cover view / list view icon they can put on the other menu. And that would make the Files Options menu a little more user-friendly and make it more like a quick access menu if they were to add those improvements. And like I said, the framework for all of those things are already in the system. They would just need to do the work to program it to work that way. The last thing I would change about the File Options menu to make it more user-friendly will be to change the default file view. So defaultly, it goes to recent files. It would be really nice if you hit that particular button and it took you to your folder view, where you go to the folder of the file that you're in currently. Sort of like how the Supernote platform does their folder view on their devices. I think those additions to the File Options menu would bring the Boox platform at least up to par with the Supernote platform. The Supernote quick access menu can be accessed no matter where you are in the system, and the File Options menu on the Boox platform can only be accessed when you're in the Notes app, but still, that would go leaps and bounds to making it, like I said, at least as good as Supernote's quick access menu, and would be a huge leap forward for the Boox platform to have something that would allow you to skip between your notes and aka your thoughts on the fly really quickly, really easily, in an intuitive manner. So what are your thoughts? Are there better ways to quickly get between your files and notes on the Boox platform that I missed? Go ahead and put it down in the description. Is the system I just talked about any quicker? Is it any slower? Do you think there'd be any benefit to that? Go ahead and leave all of those thoughts and comments down below, and I will go through those and we can get the conversation started. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for me. Go ahead and like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more, and till the next time, take care.